The new Rakna Gunlance is pretty damn OP, especially compared to the previous normal shelling king, the Rathian Gunlance. Since update 2.0, the Rakna Gunlance actually got a normal shelling 5 upgrade for its next version, and the weapon itself comes with base white sharpness, a bunch of slots, and a lot of affinity. Now it has 20 less attack than the Rathian Gunlance, but it doesn't matter because it's melee. It's melee even with that 20 less attack because it can hold white sharpness for so much longer. You can put out some nasty damage with your melee, especially compared to the Rathian. And also you can get nearly 100% crit with this build I put together. Have about 95% crit. That's about as much as you can get, unless, well, depending on your talisman configuration, but 95% is about as much as I could get. Again, depending, like, on what talismans you have, you may be able to squeeze out some affinity or attack or whatever here and there. But, let me show you the build. I made two different versions of this build, depending on your talismans. Talismans can, like, they really do make or break a build in this game. So be forewarned, you may not be able to make this build. But if you do have this specific talisman, you should be able to, or make something similar. So Teuster Helmet, which is pretty much best in slot. This chest piece here, I actually slotted in an extra handicraft. Because you have, I think it's 20 hits. But this gives you one more. I believe it's 20 or 30 hits. But you already have a decent amount of base white sharpness on the weapon itself. And this will give you a little extra, because you probably will need it. Gunlance goes through sharpness pretty fast. New Bagel Armor is where it's at, though. The Basilgeist set has a ton of slots and nothing but Gunlance and Charge Blade skills. So similarly, you could probably use this build for a Charge Blade and do pretty well. I haven't. You know what? I probably wouldn't recommend that. I'd probably go a little something more custom. But you see my point. The Bagel Armor is specifically meant for Gunlance and Charge Blade. You can see the armor itself comes with load shells and guard up. You don't need guard up, but it's useful. And it's 2 slots, 2 level 2 slots. Same with the coil, load shells, guard, 2 slots. Greaves, 2 artillery and a guard. And a 3 slot slotted in extra handicraft. So more white sharpness, the better. But even with all this weapons white sharpness, it would still be a little difficult to maintain the white sharpness. It would still be a little difficult, which is why you of course want speed sharpen in the level 1 slots. But more importantly, if you can get 2 protective polish in at least, that would really help out this build for sure. I've used this talisman in a lot of my builds because sharpness tends to be an issue, especially when trying to maintain white on a lot of these weapons. If you have this deco or this talisman, I recommend it highly. If you have another way of slotting in, like say that you have this is weakness exploit, yeah. Oh no, it's crit eye. If you have like a crit eye deco or crit eye talisman with 2 level 2 slots, definitely put in protective polish in. You'll be able to use white sharpness for a bit, but like the more you use the shelling, the faster you lose it. This isn't exclusively slap lance, this is normal shelling. But normal shelling does a lot of slapping, so if you want to be versatile and do a lot of damage with your slaps and your shelling, this is what I'd go with a lot. And if you want to do just pure slaps, which is not my playstyle, you could obviously convert this to just a pure slap build, no shelling. But what's the fun using a gun lance if you never use the gun? So Yeah, alternatively, if you don't have that specific talisman, I made this version of it, which is all right. It has one more handicraft on it, it's for more white sharpness, and the talisman I'm using instead, I found a talisman with load shells and guard up, two load shells and guard up, and a two slots. So I was able to switch around some armor, use the Magnum Hollow hands for the handicraft. Magnum Hollow is kind of best in slot if why is it not showing this? There we go. If you want handicraft, because it has a two slot. Using the Run Plus chest, it has artillery on it already and a two slot, and also has some stun resist. So it had one load shell. Never mind, not two. But yeah, this is my Gunlance build for the new Rakna Gunlance. If you're into normal shelling, highly recommend it. Normal shelling is my favorite style of Gunlance. You'll never really see me do wide shelling or long shelling. I find those boring. Not to mention, if you're doing long shelling, you can't do this because you're just charging. Because you're charging your ammo as an actual using it as a weapon and not like something to propel you forward. So if you like to slap and you like to fire off your load on monsters' faces, that didn't sound right. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. If you like to slap and shoot ammo, this is the build I would recommend. It's super fun, pretty easy to make, and there's big boy boom damage. Okay, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. But most of all, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me test out this build in action. Until next time, have a good night. Bye-bye.